Have you ever been mystified by the pricing and valuation formulas for currency forward contracts? Have you ever been confused about which currency is the foreign currency? Have you thought about why the spot price in this formula is discounted at this particular interest rate? If so, then this brief video is for you. In a few minutes, I'll explain the core concepts behind these formulas, and I assure you that if you pay attention, then you will remember the formulas and the concepts forever. Let's do this with the help of a simple example. Say you are based in Singapore and are dealing with the pound-dollar currency pair. The spot exchange rate is 1.5. The dollar risk-free rate is 2% and the pound risk-free rate is 4%. What is the appropriate 6-month forward rate? Now here is the formula that you might see in most textbooks, which refers to the rate in the foreign currency. My first point is that you should not think in terms of a foreign currency and a domestic currency, because look at the situation here. You are in Singapore, say you are an Indian dealing with the pound and dollar. So which currency is foreign, which currency is domestic, makes no sense. As far as you are concerned, both currencies are foreign currencies. So it is much better to think in terms of the base currency and the price currency. Every exchange rate is going to have a base currency and a price currency. In this case, we have $1.5 to the pound. So this means that the dollar is the price currency and the pound is the base currency. So that is the first key point to keep in mind. Once you are clear about the price currency and the base currency, then use this formula. The forward rate is the spot rate divided by 1 plus the rate for the base currency to the power of t multiplied by 1 plus the rate for the price currency to the power of t. So you can simply plug in the numbers and get this answer. But now I'm going to explain one more point. You've done forward contracts for other types of assets. So you've done forward contracts for stocks, you've done forward contracts for bonds. These assets often have a cash flow during the life of the contract. In the case of stocks, there might be dividends during this time. In the case of a bond, there might be coupon payments during this time. So what do we do when there is a cash flow during the life of the contract? That cash flow is used to reduce the spot price or make an adjustment to the spot price. Now think about what's happening over here. Our asset isn't a stock or a bond. Our asset is a currency, and the asset is the base currency. In this case, the asset is not a stock or a bond. The asset is pounds. And the price of the pounds is being expressed in dollars. Just like you can buy a stock and you pay dollars, or you buy a bond and you pay dollars, similarly you can buy pounds and pay dollars. So just like when we are dealing with stocks and bonds, we reduce the stock price or the bond price based on the cash flow associated with the asset. The same concept applies over here with currency. Here the cash flow is the interest rate associated with the base currency, and that's why we take the spot price and do 1 plus the base currency to the power of t, and this is in the denominator because we need to reduce the spot price. After that, we simply compound at the risk-free rate, and in the case of a stock, if you are buying stocks in dollars, then you compound at the dollar risk-free rate. Here again, since we are dealing with pounds and we are pricing pounds in dollars, we will then compound at the dollar risk-free rate. So hopefully now you can memorize this formula and understand why we have the base currency rate in the denominator and the price currency rate in the numerator. Now what about valuation? You move forward 2 months and the spot exchange rate is now 1.6. What's the value of the forward contract? So you started out at time 0. The contract ends over here at the end of 6 months or 0.5 years. You move forward 2 months. So now your relevant period is 4 months. So 4 months means 4 over 12, which is 0.33. All our formulas now have T minus T. The big T stands for the original period of the forward contract. This little t stands for this time, but I just like to think of this in terms of the time remaining, which in our simple example is 0.33. So that's what you plug. But again, here is the formula that you will see traditionally in many textbooks with the foreign currency rate, and then the other currency is the domestic currency, but I don't like that. We will work with the base currency and the price currency. We've already established that the base currency is the pound and the price currency is the dollar. So we know what rates to use over here. Many students get confused about why we are discounting the spot price using the base currency rate. And this goes back to the argument that I just made. When you are coming up with the value of a forward contract where the underlying is, let's say, a stock, then you reduce the value of the stock by the dividends that are being paid during the life of the contract. If you had a bond, then you would reduce the value based on the coupon payments associated with the bond. Here our asset is not a stock or a bond. Here our asset is pounds. So we need to reduce the spot price based on the cash flow associated with the pound, which is the interest rate associated with the pound, and that's what's shown over here. And that's why you have the spot rate divided by 1 plus the pound interest rate or the base currency interest rate. And then T minus T is simply this time period that remains. And then the forward price is discounted at the regular rate. This is the rate of the currency which is a price currency, and in this case that is the dollar. So now I hope this makes sense. The concept is similar to what you have seen with stocks and bonds. If you found this lecture helpful, then I'll be very grateful if you can do 3 things for me. Number 1, like this video. Number 2, like my Facebook page. And number 3, visit analystforum.com and there add my logo to your studying with profile. You can see this slide for help on how to do that. Thank you very much and good luck with your studies.